For the Knicks, a convincing 16-point victory over the Celtics to take a 2-0 lead in this best of 7 with the scene shifting to Boston for games 3 and 4. Marv Albert along with Steve Kerr, and very similar to what took place in game 1 on Saturday, and perhaps even worse when you look at the second half for the Celtics.
Yeah, they couldn't score, and part of it was that New York just came out and played such good defense and played with all kinds of energy. You look at the numbers here, 23 points for Boston in that second half. I think a lot of it, too, Marv, was that New York just didn't turn the ball over. 3 turnovers in the second half, and that meant Boston was playing in the half court the entire second half. That first half, they were really running and pushing and generating some offense.
Slow start for Carmelo Anthony, then he turned it up, ends up with 34 points. J.R. Smith, who prior to the game received the 6th Man Award, he came out on fire, hit his first 4 shots. He had a big game. You mentioned the word disheartening as you took a look at the Celtics and what was going on in that second half. How do they bounce back? How do they turn it? We talked about adjustments prior to game 2. What do you do for game 3?
Well, you've got something to hang your hat on because you had a couple of good halves in these first 2 games, but mainly you turn to your home crowd. You go back to the Garden, you regroup, and you use that energy and that enthusiasm from the home fans to try to spur you on. But there's no doubt about it. They have to put together 4 quarters and not 2.
And again, Kevin Garnett not a factor.
Right.
And Doc Rivers telling us prior to the game that Garnett has to get into it, and it just did not happen again.
No Rondo, so you don't have a point guard, and that means Garnett, Paul Pierce, Jeff Green, the 3 best players for Boston, they have to have big games, and they're more likely to do so at home.
So the Knicks with a commanding 2-0 lead as the series will shift to Boston Friday night for game number 3. A look at the brackets in the Eastern Conference. Miami now 2 up on Milwaukee. The Nets and the Bulls, who resume on Thursday night in Chicago, now even at 1 as the Bulls were able to bounce back after that blistering in game 1. And Indiana with the 1-0 lead on Atlanta. That'll do it from Madison Square Garden. Another superb performance by the Knicks.